He said it was a violation of HOA code, and the next second my newborn was sinking in the lake. The morning in Lakewood County had that deceptive peace that hides danger. The air smelled of pine, the lawns shimmered with dew, and everything looked like a picture-perfect suburban dream. Jason Kalo, a former Navy SEAL, had traded combat zones for quiet mornings with his wife Emily and their newborn son Logan. But peace doesn't last long where madness hides behind authority. It began with a knock on the door, sharp, deliberate, almost military. A tall man stood outside, wearing a dark blue jacket with HOA enforcement stitched on the sleeve and a cheap badge clipped to his chest. His name was Brax Mills. "You've violated Section 4, he said flatly. "Your mailbox paint color isn't compliant." Jason frowned. "It came with the house," he said. Brax's eyes twitched. "Then you should have known the rules before moving in." He left a warning notice taped to the door, the kind of paper that usually means nothing, but this one felt different. Over the next few days, Brax appeared again and again, inspecting fences, measuring grass height, even taking pictures of Logan's stroller left on the porch. Emily felt uneasy. "Why does he stare like that?" she whispered one night. Jason shrugged, but deep down he didn't like it either. Years of SEAL instincts told him something was off. Brax's posture, his eyes, the way he scanned every corner like he was planning something. Then came the day everything broke. A warm Saturday morning, Jason was flipping pancakes in the kitchen while Emily changed Logan's diaper. He heard the door creak, not knock, creak. And then Emily's scream split the silence. Jason ran outside, barefoot, heart pounding. The stroller was gone. For one horrifying second, his brain froze. Then he saw Brax running toward the lake at the end of the cul-de-sac, pushing the stroller like a madman. "Brax!" Jason shouted, sprinting after him. Neighbors peeked through windows, but no one moved. The world felt slow, unreal. The stroller hit the dock's edge, bounced, and plunged into the water. Jason dove without a breath. The cold hit like a punch. His hands found metal, fabric, then the small weight of his son. He dragged Logan out, coughing, gasping, blue but breathing. Emily screamed his name from the distance. Brax just stood there at the edge, smiling like he'd done something noble. "You don't deserve this house," he said, voice calm, eyes hollow. "People like you ruin neighborhoods." Jason stepped forward, dripping, eyes full of murder. But Brax was already backing away, saying, "I'm the law here." Sirens wailed faintly in the distance. Someone must have called 911. Brax vanished into the woods before the police arrived. They called it an incident, took statements, promised to investigate. But Jason knew what the cops didn't. Brax wasn't HOA, wasn't law enforcement. He was something else. That night, Jason went back to the lake alone. The water reflected the moon, still rippling from what happened. He noticed tire marks, a trail leading deep into the trees. He followed them. There, hidden under the shadows, stood an old RV covered in fake decals. HOA Compliance Unit. Inside were photos of houses, lists of names, red strings connecting addresses, and in the center a picture of baby Logan, with the word "cleanse" scrawled in black ink. Jason's blood ran cold. He didn't call the police. He just whispered, "You picked the wrong house." The SEAL in him woke up again. He thought I'd let the law handle it. But the law doesn't show up when monsters wear fake badges. Jason Kalo hadn't slept since that night. Every sound outside the window felt like a threat, every creak in the hallway like a warning. Emily begged him to let the police handle it. But he knew what they didn't. Brax Mills wasn't just a lunatic. He was organized. There were more of him. Fake HOA inspectors, fake citations, fake authority, real danger. Jason's mind had shifted back to its old rhythm. Scan, assess, eliminate. The SEAL was awake again. He set up cameras around the property, mapped the neighborhood, even followed every HOA record, cross-checking names Brax had marked. 3 houses shared the same red X symbol he saw in that RV. All had new families, outsiders. That night, Jason followed the tire tracks again. Deeper this time, past the lake, through an old service road that ended near the abandoned water treatment plant. The air reeked of rust and gasoline. A light flickered inside. He crouched low, Glock 19 steady in his hand, pulse controlled, eyes cold. He could hear Brax's voice echoing from within. They moved in without permission. HOA law is pure order. Another man answered. Then they'll be removed. Jason leaned closer, saw 3 men in the room, all dressed in identical Navy jackets, fake badges glinting. The table was covered in files, maps, and neighborhood photos. They were planning another cleansing. Jason's finger rested on the trigger, but he waited, patient as training taught him. One of the men stepped outside for a smoke. Jason moved silently behind him, arm around his neck, dragged him down without a sound. He took his radio. Static. "Unit 3, report," a voice called. Jason whispered back, "All clear." Then he moved in. Flashlight flick, gunfire burst, 2 down. Brax spun around, firing blindly, yelling, "You can't stop what's already begun!" Jason's bullet hit his shoulder, spinning him into the wall. The silence after was heavy, thick. Jason approached slowly, muzzle steady. "You threw my son into the lake," he said, voice flat. "You don't deserve mercy," Brax laughed, coughing blood. "You think you're a hero? You're just another rule breaker." Jason leaned in. "No, I'm a father." He hit Brax across the face with the Glock, not to kill, but to make him remember fear. He zip-tied his hands, dragged him outside, and waited for the flashing red and blue lights that finally arrived. When the sheriff approached, Jason simply said, "He's not HOA. He's a fraud, a terrorist hiding behind paperwork." The next day, the headlines read, "Fake HOA enforcement group busted in suburban Lakewood. Former Navy SEAL saves families." The entire community showed up at Jason's lawn with candles and cards. Emily stood beside him, holding Logan close, whispering, "It's over." Jason looked out at the calm water of the lake, the same lake that had nearly taken everything from him. "Not over," he said quietly. "Just balanced." Weeks later, as the neighborhood rebuilt, Jason was approached by the county sheriff. "You ever think about joining law enforcement?" Jason smiled faintly. "No, I've had enough of war. I just protect what's mine." The sheriff nodded. "That's exactly what good men do." As the sun dipped behind the trees, Jason walked toward the dock with Logan in his arms, the gentle sound of water mixing with laughter. For the first time, peace didn't feel fake. It felt earned. But somewhere in the distance, in an evidence locker, Brax's fake HOA badge still gleamed under the fluorescent light, a reminder that monsters don't always wear masks. Sometimes they wear authority,